Hello and welcome to today's Wild Hearthstone. There we go. Didn't get him confused at all. Wild Hearthstone deck tech and gameplay video on a list that I call Boar Watching. Boar Watching takes advantage of the new card Birdwatching, which the moment I saw it released, it immediately sent off like light bulbs in my head saying, I wonder if I can do Elwynn Boar Hunter, which is where the boar and bird watching is combined to make boar watching. But with this card, with bird watching, I think I can actually make an Elwynn Boar Hunter, since the only time you ever really see them, if you see them at all, is like a priest. And I know that priest, can work with the Elwynn Boar, but I'd always wanted to see if other classes could ever really make it happen. And this is my little hodgepodge, like kind of a meme, but like not totally a meme attempt at Boar Hunter. Now, to help us get there, we have cards, again, in this case, like Bird Watching, to get extra copies of it, and if we can make the boars particularly big and scary, that's great too. Pet Parrot can get you additional copies of an Elwynn Boar, or other one-cost spells, but ideally the Pet Parrot is another copy of another boar. K9otron is the ability to, like, not only curate your draws, but can also sometimes just summon a boar directly. Scavenger's Insight can draw you a boar or the other beast you have. And Northshire Farmer is a way to hard shuffle extra copies of, in this case, the boar into your deck. Also honorable mentions are Monstrous Parrot as a way to get an additional boar sometimes, as well as get the boar death rattle on the parrot, but really it's there more so to get an extra copy of the boar. And Trusty Fishing Rod is, much like the K9otron, is another way to pull the boars out of your deck once they're in the deck. Now, beyond all the boar cards and all the setup cards, you people at home might be wondering why I have certain weird inclusions like Hollow Hound or Vicious Scalehide or Death's Head Cultist. The reason why we are running these cards is that they are defensive ways for me to gain life and to sort of fight for the board and basically just not die to like a single amount of aggression. Since the deck is kind of slow and a little dirtily, we can oftentimes just die if our opponent puts a lot of pressure on us. And even with these cards, we can still sometimes just die to remotely aggressive decks. And these are all cards to try and buy us the time we need to, since you're never going to really get an Elwynn Boar trigger giving you a Sword of a Thousand's Truth particularly early. It's always going to be in the later, like in the 7, 8s, and 9s, and so on turns, that you're going to be able to get the sword. So really, you're almost trying to play like a control hunter list that WinCon is a big Sword of Truths. And the last thing in the deck, besides the boar cards and the ways to not die, are more generic glue, which can be anything. Fetch is basically draws for minions. Rexar's Gift is a good flexible bit of interaction. Tracking is more drawing. And these cards are all glue that don't necessarily directly reference the boar or getting boars or extra copies, but sometimes all the time you need some degree of okay glue to sort of stitch weird, goofy ideas like this together. Anywho, with that out of the way, don't forget to like the video if you like it. Subscribe if you like my grab bag of content and would like to see more in the future. And if you have any sort of questions, like I don't have X, what about Y, or other generally nice and or constructive comments, go ahead and leave them down in this comment section, and I'll get to them when I can. Now, with all of that finally out of the way, now we'll go on to game number 1. And game number 1 with our little boar watching list. None of these things are boars, so we're going to throw them back. We want to basically have a boar and additional ways to get extra boars in our opening hand. The deck is pretty one note in what it wants to do. And this is, granted, it doesn't have what we need, but it's a fine thing. This is one of those lists that tend to be a little bit aggressive, so we could be in some real trouble. Hey, we got a boar. Hell yeah. Yeah, we'll do a fetch first. Another perk of having the Hollow Hound and the Vicious Scalehide is that a good amount of the time when you play a fetch, you're probably going to be drawing a beast, so you're going to get a spell and anything to thin your deck to get to the juice of what you want to do is great. Okay, I thought their deck was going to be a little more aggressive, but if it's not, I'll take that. Do a tracking. Would love to find a farmer. Guess a Master's Call. That way next turn we can play the Master's Call, maybe find a farmer. And if we don't find a farmer and get all 3 beast hits, then, you know, we just get to draw 3. Oh no. Okay, our opponent's deck is either slow or they're having a terrible draw. Death Rattle. Haunt a card in your hand. When you play it, summon a cool. Okay. That tells me nothing. Northshire Farmer is great. So next turn it'll be an Elwynn Boar and a Northshire Farmer just to get a lot of copies going. Also having a Birdwatching in our hand will increase the odds that we're able to, you know, find a boar and buff all of our boars. Yeah, I think our plan remains the same. Play a boar, play a farmer. And we have to, like we talked about in the deck tech, we got to try and fight for a board. We cannot just ignore what our opponent's doing. This deck is not that kind of deck, as much as we might want it to be. Now, granted, they're not... I mean, I was going to say, their deck hasn't really told me that much about what it is, but it's like, kind of generic. Or it seems kind of generic. And also the Bone Caller and this Haunting Nightmare dude. All of this points me in the direction of it's just kind of a generic, like, death rattle-y priest. My god, my brain is melting. I guess we could do... Yeah, we'll do the Birdwatching now. What? Let's do a tracking and see if we can find interaction first. Rexar's Gift is nice. Plan remains, I think, largely the same, though. We'll play 1 boar. Play a Birdwatching. Hopefully find another boar. Buff all of our dudes. And again, just try and control the board. And if we can get extra deaths and start the Elwynn Boar chain a-rollin', then we will. Doing pretty good. We also have a monstrous parrot waiting to give us another boar. We've taken a lot of damage, which I don't love. But if they go particularly wide, or if we feel really scared, we can always play a Hollow Hound if we need to. Come on. Our opponent's really in the tank for doing a whole lot of nothing. I apologize for the dead space, but it's one of those... I mean, the deck's just kind of like pretty much every priest. That is one of the weaknesses of priest as a class in Wild. And really, it's not necessarily... That might not be fair. I wanted to say it is indicative of the weaknesses of the priest class, but also... As much as I enjoy making Wild videos, the Wild community is not the most creative or like experimental lot. They like what they like, and they're very rarely ever going to budge. So that might also be it. Feeling pretty good. So I guess we can just do a parrot. I think we're going to actually do a Scavenger's Ingenuity. Another boar is perfectly fine. And again, keep trading boars away. We are at 3 of 7, so we're getting there. Oh, I remember where my brain was going at now. This deck is... If you consider the metagame, broadly speaking, 3 tiers, where it's like pure meme at the bottom and like top tier, really competitive good decks at the top, and then there's like a middle ground where most decks exist. This deck is, fortunately or unfortunately, your mileage will vary. It is in the meme tier, but it's like right on the border of where meme and like the bottom end of like most normal decks exist. So it's kind of there. And maybe there are improvements that you could make in theory, and if you have ideas for improvements, please leave them down in the comments below. But because this deck is, you know, a meme bordering on like okay deck, if we can just, well, let me phrase this. I know we can get the sword going, but for the sake of the video, if nothing else, if all I get is the sword going in a couple of whacks, then I'll take that. Wins are great, but just showing the deck kind of doing its thing is equally cool too. Guess we could do a boar, a cultist, and I believe the last 1 cost I played now with that boar should be a boar. Let's get another one. I am absolutely certain that there's some like AoE. There's what's the psychic scream that bounces everything back, and there's like the AoE silence thing in priest. That but I think it's a holy spell, so he can't run it naturally with Benedictus. I think so. We're okay on that front. So our fingers crossed. I guess you could like hide it in like an ETC or something. But I don't think we need to worry that much about like getting our boar silenced, which normally silence isn't an effect in most decks that I give a shit about happening to my creatures. But in a deck like this where we're all about Elwynn Boar, getting silenced is absolutely fucking brutal. Okay. Doing things. Annie Secondo now. Pardon? Oh, okay, that's cute. I don't know if it's good, but it's cute. I didn't see what number of boars I'm on. That's not fantastic. So do a fishing rod, bump into the 1 health dude. Should give me a boar, and this will tell me how many more boars I have left to go. Need only 1 more. So in that case, yeah, we'll go ahead and do a Rexar's Gift. Why not? Just cast the Deadly Shut now while we have access to it. We should, in theory, not need another copy of a boar, which is why I was like in the tank so much about deciding, do I want to keep the pet parrot where it gives me another boar, or in this case gives me a gift. But we're okay with that. Yeah, some sort of like undead shadow priest. I mean, I would say it's interesting, but a lot of it's just like I summon a whole board of recursive death rattle dudes that just keep on coming back kind of thing. Is usually what like most undead creature that you'll see in priest end up being. They might even have N'Zoth the Corruptor that like resummons all your death rattles or something. You know. I don't question that it's good. You'll hear me say this a lot in my critiques of my opponent's deck. I don't question that it's good. I question that it's boring. Okay, the deck is making less and less sense as we go on here. I really hope this is a real person, not a bot, but because I'm trying to show the bit off, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm not going to complain too much. Both heroes take damage. Okay, so it's not all characters, it's heroes. Okay, this can't be a real person. I want it to be, but it can't be. Sure, K9 Otron. Yeah, farmer. Why not? I don't know if I have any more boars, but we'll find out. I didn't think we did. Okay, opponent, please don't die before I hit you with the sword. Oh, God. Get the fuck out of here. I think that's the last fucking... Get the fuck out of here. I'm so fucking mad. No fucking way. Okay, I have to draw the second parrot. The second monstrous parrot. To get the 7th. You are fucking kidding me. Friendly, right? Get the fuck out of here with that. I'm so upset. I guess we'll play a hound. My fucking god. I'm beginning to think more and more now that our opponent's just a bot and I'm sitting here losing my mind over nothing. That makes me so fucking upset. Ugh. It was right there. Because I've gotten the sword a good amount of times, and I've even got enough of the swings with the sword to get the golden boars, as you can see. Those come from if you, like, deal so much damage with the sword. I'm so fucking upset. That might be the most annoying thing. Yeah, cool. I was about to say, if he starts, like, hitting me with fucking boars and starts, like, doing my deck for me, I'm gonna be so upset. Okay, opponent. Totally not a bot. Oh, thank God. Okay, so this should be a boar, correct? Thank heavens. Oh my God. Okay, that now, yeah, that's a little better, because I can't afford to, like, not get the boar again. Do we just die? 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13? We die to a lot. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. I just want to show the sword off. And if the deck works enough that you can get the sword with a degree of regularity. That's really what I want to show, like, working here. Please no. Please no. Please no. Please no. Please no. Okay. Oh, it resets his fucking hero power. Get the fuck out of here. Am I dead? Oh my God. Okay. I got the sword, though. 5, 9, 10, 11. Oh, I'm fucking dead. Are you kidding me? Sorry? Okay, they have to be a bot, but I don't care. Oh, slap! Okay. I don't care how the game goes. I have to keep his mana down, though, otherwise we could be in some trouble. But we did it. We got the sword. We might even win, even though I'm convinced this is a bot I'm going against. And if it's not, I apologize for talking mad shit. But your deck is all over the place, and there's weird... I mean, your deck is all over the place, says a guy playing Boar Hunter. I am aware of this contradictory statement. But also there are weird, like, moments where I could have been dead almost certainly if they would have used this Cathedral, like, 3 or 4 turns ago. Even during all that last turn... There are ways to, like, do Nightshade Teas on, like, a farmer or something like that. And, like, clear my whole board and not the weird way they decided to do it. I say I assume it's a bot because this person clearly has a good amount of if they aren't a bot. This person has an odd amount of cosmetics for somebody to be making the weird, arguably, quote, bad plays, unquote, that they're making. Thank God we're going to get there. Oh my God. I did the thing on camera! Yay! Hell yeah. That was pretty good. It was very scuffed, but we got there eventually. And yeah, that's a good showing. We will do one more game. And again, in this case now, since we got both a win in the first game and showed me getting the sword and, like, you know, using the sword. Even if we happen to lose the second game, that's totally fine too. Anywho, with that out of the way, we'll go on now to game number 2. And game number 2 with our little Boar-watching Boar Hunter. And yeah, this is perfect. The fetch we don't need right now since we have a parrot in hand. Scale hide might not be the most useful, so we can go ahead and throw that back. If we do get a hold of a second boar, we're just going to try and save the second boar till we can get and shuffle extra copies into the deck with a thing like a farmer. That's okay. It's a mage that casts spells. I might actually have less information than I did when I knew nothing. But oh well, we'll take it. It correctly did not, in fact, get rid of the boar. Go ahead, play the parrot. I should put it to the left, right? Oh no, it doesn't matter. To the right. It could technically matter, but it's practically not gonna. Probably do a Master's Call next turn so we can dig a little deeper looking for a farmer. We could actually tracking. Well, no. Yeah, we could track first. See if we find it that way. Hell yeah. In that case, we'll just coin out a farmer, and again, on the boar. Doing pretty good now. And now if we draw another boar, we don't need to be as liberal with it. We might even get really lucky and just discover all 3 boar, or all 3 beasts anyway, and like draw 3 off of this. Feeling pretty good. Opponent's not doing a whole lot, but they're fine. K9-Otron. Yeah, we'll do a Master's Call. I'll take a farmer. That's totally fine with me. Our opponent could kill both of our boars next turn and make this Northshire farmer feel a little empty, but like they correctly so have been a little gun shy about like pinging off the boars or even just getting rid of them. So I can't really fault them that much. But we'll take it. And we're going to properly order this so that it's farmer first and then a K9-Otron, so we might be able to just immediately summon another boar. If we're lucky, of course. Ray of Frost will buy you some time. Any second now. Birdwatching's pretty good. With Birdwatching, since we drew that, I think we're going to not do the K9-Otron and instead do the Birdwatching and hope we find a boar off that. Not only does it, again, get us boars, but it buffs the boars we do have, so it makes them a little more of a threat and therefore might actually be enough to push our opponent over the edge into, like, answering them. Since we want the boars to die anyway, what better way to make them die than to make them scary? Doing pretty good, though. Don't think I had another Ray of Frost, right? Oh, get the fuck out of here. They did have AoE. Okay. So my initial concern about placement earlier with the pet parrot was actually, like, weirdly a correct concern. Although, really, 99 times out of 100, you don't have to worry about your placement. they're casting spells. Are they like a no minion version? Since I know that Mage has got some more no minion support, which is always nice. Yeah, we'll do a boar. Do a boar. Play a K9-Otron. Hopefully hit another boar. Well, get the fuck out of here. That stinks. Okay, yeah. Fetch it is. Do an Ingenuity then. Perfectly fine. We have a good amount of boars to not hit one, but oh well. What are you gonna do? I think actually, if I remember correctly, if I play a pet parrot, I think the last 1-cost spell I played was a tracking, I think. Oh, fuck me. I forgot about the other thing that hoses us is fucking polymorph effects. Yeah, okay. That's fine. Yeah, I forgot about that. Because that's even more rare than silences or, like, polymorph style effects that just outright change it from A to B. Usually you don't see those, like, outside of, like, an evolving shaman, and that's if you ever see one of those. Luckily, they didn't get the last boar, though, so we got that going for us, if nothing else. Yeah, we're probably just going to play the parrot. It's big and scary. And if they have more devolving missiles or whatever those things are called, anything to just give more bodies on the board so our thing doesn't die. Or as many targets on the board so we don't potentially lose a boar. Actually, maybe we do a fetch. And if we get a boar, then we could just, yeah, there we go. We could play a boar, play a pet parrot, draw some more. Or not draw some more, sorry. Play another boar, and then draw some more with the Master's Call. Yeah. Give me more boars, please. Hopefully they're just... Get the fuck out of here. They had more? Okay, they're running like polymorph jellyfish and shit, so we might not actually get there because they're running like hard polymorphs. The devolving missiles, if I'm not mistaken, was like a generated card, so like that stinks, but like, yeah, it's Hearthstone. That's one of its strengths, honestly, is like its generation of like interesting cards and like interesting situations. Hey, really? What was that one? Oh, Ruined Orb. Okay, another created card. Oh, they had devolving missiles. Well, that fucking sucks. Okay, yeah. I guess we have to... Okay, I want to, like, try and preserve the boars, but, like, we already showed that the deck can work. And this is a good example of when the deck doesn't work. So if we're gonna try and be interested in, like, maintaining some authenticity to it, we gotta show... games like this where, yeah, sometimes they're going to have a whole lot of polymorph style effects or silences, and you're just going to get hosed. It's not great, but, like, you don't really have an option. That's cute. Is it all spells, right? That's pretty cool. Granted, we're going to die in a... They're actually... So they're not a no minion thing, probably. Not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, okay, we'll take those. Let's see, do a boar here. Trade here, get some life. Maybe a K9 can, like, hit us another boar, possibly. We'll take a tracking. That's fine, too. Just play some small bodies and try and be somewhat scurry. I realize I've had the preview for my OBS on. I am a little afraid that we're just going to die to some +6 damage spells, which isn't great. Are there ways to get extra? I mean, I would laugh my ass off if they start, like, brewmastering it. Ew. So tracking. Maybe we can find something useful. Yeah, we'll do a parrot. Why not? Like it just should get us. Oh no, it'll get me a bit of a goof. I was thinking it was still gonna get me a parrot, but yeah, it's gonna get me a Death's Head cultist. We have kind of accepted that I don't think we're gonna get the boar angle of a win here, so we're just gonna like try and start going face, and then maybe we'll get lucky. Unfortunate, but again, sometimes you're not gonna be able to, like, you know, get the dream fulfilled and start whacking people with the Sword of a Thousand Truths. Ooh, okay, that's a cool interaction. That's cute. I like that. That's actually okay. That's pretty cool. I don't know if it's good, but it's like very funny. Do a hound and a boar. Just try and do anything to get some life. Probably not gonna matter if we're gonna be honest. There's a good chance we just die. Let's see. 7, 10, 13, 13 plus 7, 20. So we just have to not take 10 damage in a deck that has, what, an extra 6 spell power floating around? I'm certain it'll all work out great. Ting! Smile. They're digging. They gotta have something. They can't... At this stage, they've done their thing for their deck. They gotta be able to close the game out. Cool. Okay, that helps with the spell damage. Okay, that's fair. Down or up to 9, so what, down to like 8 damage we can take in a turn? We don't love that, but what are you gonna do? Doesn't he have another drink of his thing? Yeah. I mean, if nothing else, the boar ate up a lot of... Oh, it's so unfortunate. Oh, well. Yeah, sometimes, you know, you can't... Sorry. Fucking potion of poly... Okay. That's an option. Yeah, take the win with your several actual polymorph effects. That's fine. That's cool. I'm not hurt. I'm not butthurt at all. Oh, well. Deck still did fun, and it showed that you can actually get some wins with the Sword of a Thousand Truths somewhat reliably. Now, is it gonna, like, bust out of the, like, transition ground between, like, meme and, like, an okay deck, and is it gonna, like, climb and be the best deck ever? Hell no. The deck is not that good. It is, however, a whole lot of fun. So if you've always wanted to get a Boar Hunter list to work, or a Elwynn Boar list to work in a class that isn't Priest, this one is pretty good, and it'll get you some good mileage. Anywho, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video if you like it, subscribe if you like my grab bag of content and would like to see more in the future. And if you have any sort of questions, like, I don't have X, what about Y, or other nice and or constructive comments, I'll do what I can to respond to what I see. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember, I'm pulling for you. We're all in this together.